Is selling on Amazon as a side hustle officially dead in 2025? Let's discuss. What is up, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Larry, aka Watch Me Amazon. I've been a seller for the last 14 years, and if there is one thing that I know for sure, it's that Amazon does get harder and more complicated every single year. I also know that every year or two, someone makes a version of the "Is Amazon dead?" video, and to be honest, I have been seeing that question pop up a lot lately. So I wanted to take a look at what the actual data has to say. So first off, shout out to our friends over at Marketplace Pulse who compiled this research on the state of Amazon sellers in 2025. And what they found was that the number of people who are actively selling on Amazon has actually gone down in the last 3-4 years. Less people are selling, more sellers are quitting, and this is something that definitely tells me the business is in fact getting harder and more complicated. But what they also found was that the number of sellers who are becoming successful, who are building million-dollar businesses, that number has actually doubled in those same 3 to 4 years. So while the number of sellers is going down, the number of successful sellers is actually going up. So here are the stats, guys, and if you want, you can check them out for yourself at marketplacepulse.com. Since 2021, the number of people who started an Amazon business and got to $100,000 in sales, that number has gone up 50%. The number of sellers who got to $1 million in sales per year, that number is up 68%. Sellers who do over 100 million in sales, that's up over 300%. So what does this data tell us? What does it mean when the number of sellers is going down, but the number of successful sellers is actually going up? To me, this is something that I have been saying for the last 10 years. Go back to my first couple of videos on YouTube, you can see it. Amazon always gets harder over time. Every year there is a new hoop to jump through. And the only way to ensure success in this type of a business, especially with a reselling business model, right, is to treat it more like a real business and less like a side hustle. So there are generally two types of sellers out there. You have what I call full-time sellers, people who are all in on their Amazon business. They're in it for the long haul. And then you have part-time sellers. And these are the side hustlers, right? So these are like casual sellers that move from one get-rich-quick business model to the next. And what we're seeing right now is that these types of sellers are getting absolutely killed on Amazon. So many are quitting. So many don't even bother starting Amazon businesses anymore. You know, they're on to like the next hot fad. They're in the Amazon influencer program or whatever else. But these are the sellers that are quitting, leaving the marketplace, dealing with tons of issues, getting gated, getting suspended. The type of people who try something and then bounce if things don't work out in the first, 3-4 months. These are the kind of sellers that are getting shaken out of the business right now. Now, for all of you full-time sellers, the ones who stuck it out and didn't quit your first 12 months in the business, for these kinds of sellers, the data is very, very clear. These businesses, the ones that remain, now have less competition. They are getting more sales on the average. They are getting more traffic on their listings. They are getting more buy box share, and all because the casuals are getting pushed out of the business. And that makes sense, right? If there are less amateur sellers killing prices, killing listings, it does make sense that things would improve for the rest of us. And I think that's exactly what we are seeing right now. Obviously, goes without saying, there's always going to be issues regardless what type of seller you are. You can be the best of the best, always issues. Fees go up every year, new rules, new hurdles. Most of the time, honestly, it's annoying as fuck being an Amazon seller. But here is what this data proves. Side hustling on Amazon, while not totally dead, because there will always be an opportunity to make a few bucks flipping some products, right? But it's gotten much, much, much harder. And for the people who went all in on their Amazon business, the ones that know this is a longer term play, the ones that know it takes 12 months plus to see some kind of, sick real results, for these businesses, the Amazon opportunity has actually gotten better. Now, here's the craziest statistics, guys. When I read this statistic, it blew me away, and I'm very excited to share it with you. On Amazon.com, 43% of all sellers, 43% of everyone selling now does over 100K a year in sales. Let me say that again. 43% of all sellers are hitting 6 figures in sales annually. That means if you start an Amazon business and you take it seriously and you survive the first, 6 to 12 months, there is a 43% chance that you are going to get to 100,000 in sales. And those are some pretty phenomenal odds when starting a new business, guys. So no, Amazon is not dead, but the era of casual side hustlers making a lot of money on the platform, that seems to be over. This is a real business now, and just know if you're considering selling on Amazon, you are going to need to start treating it as one. So if you are serious about building something on this platform, the good news is, this is good news. Is it hard? Sure. But now there's less competition on listings. There are less bootleggers, less scummy sellers, less sellers undercutting products and penny pinching, less rookies calling brands and suppliers and giving you a bad rap, and more room for real entrepreneurs and full-time hustlers, the full-time hustlers, to take advantage of the market. That said, guys, if you have made it this far into the video, you are probably one of the passionate few entrepreneurs that are serious about selling on Amazon. And for that, I salute you, and I do want to tell you, you came to the right place. Over the next few weeks and months ahead, I plan on making a lot more Amazon and business content like this. So if you enjoyed this video, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you in the next one, my friends. Peace!